You
There's
are all
power.
unmuted now.
Oh,
Oh,
you're enough.
Welcome, yurt enthusiasts. My name is Obsidia. I am the DM of this campaign. Welcome to another exciting episode of Nexus Forlorn Legacy. It's been a while, but we're here. We're queer. Get used to it. As is tradition, we're going to do round the table introductions. Before I actually do have an interrupt, I've got various art to show off because we got several art pieces from
ooh.
last time slash one more new art piece of a NPC who was mentioned previously to show off, and then we'll do a brief session recap, and we'll jump right into it. So, the first member of the Yurt Gang, please go, B.
Hello, hello. My name is Beatrix Bunny. I am a variety streamer who's sometimes a jackalope, sometimes a goblin auntie from Fantasy Queens, New York, but who always tends to focus on roguelikes, RPGs, and digital artwork. And in this game, I am playing as Feng-chen Wong, the hobgoblin artificer and future benevolent overlord. The pleasure is yours.
Thank you, B. We actually
It's
already
the first
know.
time I didn't forget one or the other.
Yep, you remembered it all. Congratulations. We already know where Fantasy Queens is. It's located in Shard because that's Fantasy New York, thanks to Sith.
Oh yeah, thanks for making Fantasy 9/11.
They
So
went to. There was
Ooh,
Fantasy 9/11, and there was also the Fantasy Bodegas.
I gotta say, the book already had Fantasy 9/11 in it. I just took it.
You did 9/11 Part 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Oh, you're
my
right. I did give
God.
Obs permission to do that. Thank you
Um,
for that.
I appreciate everybody giving me parents that I could promptly kill. Go watch Ashes of the Last War, everyone. It's a good time. um, Next up, we have Meris.
Hello, everyone. I'm Meris Orum. I am a celestial dragon VTuber. I specialize in cozy storytelling streams. We read books, we talk literature, and it's just a nice time. I also run my own campaign called The Trial of Hearts. It's an ode to all things romantic fantasy, and it is just chock full of sauciness and drama. So I stream that every other Wednesday, so hop on in. And yeah, while I'm here, I am playing the hot pink tiefling himbo werewolf Soleil and promptly chucking all my brain cells into the garbage bin. So you
Not,
love to see it.
not a brain cell in sight.
Not a one.
Thank you, Maris. Next up, we have really the god queen of the Yurt Gang. We've got Nafisa, otherwise known as Sif.
Hi, I am Nafisa. This is my little stone drake dog Nix, role played by me, regular ass man, Sif underscore VTuber. Living Suit of Armor. I do art. I play games. Nothing special planned. All of my scheduling is just freaking out right now because it's Ramadan. But I will always make time to be here. Gods be damned.
Aw.
I
Also,
love you.
aw.
The Muslim equivalent of Deus Vult. God wills it.
To be fair, I don't think
Inshallah.
you're a regular ass man. You have a very nice ass.
I thank you, B. I needed
You're
that.
welcome.
um, but yes, thank you, Sif. And then last but never least, we have Lily.
Hello, everyone. My name is Lily. I'm very excited to be here playing Aurora. The not it's we're we got the himbo bimbo duality here. I'm the bimbo side of this, but Aurora is a sheep satyr, scribes wizard, that is here to run around and do her goddamn best. Uh, that's really her character in a nutshell. Um, but as for myself, I am a aspiring artist that focuses mostly on D&D stuff, as well as some fan art and occasional comics of both personal life and general trans experience. I also run a campaign myself, Mistwalker Spectrum of Eternity. There is currently 2 sessions of it up on my YouTube, but very excited to be running that. And yeah, that's kind of what I got.
Yes, go check out all these wonderful people. You are in the rare point where literally everyone here is running a RPG campaign in some way, shape, or form. And in nearly every case, at least one other person in this group is playing in it. Sometimes
We're just playing
multiple.
musical chairs.
Yeah.
Just playing musical chairs with the DM role.
So there are no forever DMs here because we're all players.
That's the dream right there.
Yep. So thank you everyone. Be sure to check them all out. You can always type in !players to go to their socials and give them the good gander. I realize some of the art I can show during the session recap. So the only new piece that I have, oh man, I didn't upload that one. Shoot. Give me one moment. Oh man, I can't do it. You'll have to wait till next time to see the art of Ludus and Shishide.
It's very good.
I forgot to put that with the pile. I was like, I have to remember Clara. I forgot Ludus, but I did commission art of Ludus and his trusty middle-aged goblin CIA handler, and it is incredible. But the new art is the NPC that they briefly met at the garden party in Casil. It is the Eisen Knoll marine woman who was very large, talking to Nafisa, very battle scarred, and her name was Clara. She's Clara Walden. This is wonderful art by Zeph Art. It's kind of pixelated because it's a very big picture that I had to shrink down so you all could see it. But yeah, it's a super awesome art of a big muscle mommy fucking Knoll woman, well hung and here to party. So I will try to periodically get more art of various characters and stuff in this game, commissioned and or attempted to draw by myself, but sometimes certain characters have priorities, and she definitely had my priority.
Can I just say also, like,
yeah,
shout out to whoever made her gaff belt, because holy cow. If she's a Knoll woman, it is doing that Spider-Man to stopping the train thing for her.
straining. But yeah, so next time you guys will get to see Ludus and Chishi, and they're just incredible. By Falco, he's got a longer name, but it's this wonderful artist. But yeah, so previously on Nexus Forlorn Legacy, our heroes were given their next job, which was to be teleported across the western continent of Nexus to as close as they could to a location known as the Sapphire Sea. A giant blue desert which had a guardian that would basically kill anybody who entered it. So, however, their employers were informed that there was a powerful weapon hidden in the desert that they needed to retrieve, that apparently was an ancient creation in some way. There was a bit of a race against time as a organization known as the Nexus Consortium, which is the largest supplier and processor of the magical fuel Nexite in the planet, basically. They are big oil, ExxonMobil, and they were racing there in at least one Zephyr ship. And so the problem is flying takes a while, even though it ignores a lot, and teleportation is much faster. So they did some final shopping in the Umbrian city of Venogna before their trusty, I guess supervisor is how I'd refer to her. Their supervisor, the kobold Zelik Karan, or Zelik Karen, sorry, was able to teleport them to the location. They were a couple miles out. It's late summer in the world of Nexus, and so it was a nice 90-some degree weather out on these open plains leading into the desert, which certain sheep were not accustomed to. But they did arrive at the enormous body of sand, and as they approached it, they saw the ruins and remains of numerous expeditions that apparently had tried to investigate it. and had failed or been destroyed. And as they, were getting ready to enter it, Feng-chen decided to try and harvest some of the blue sand in the sea. And
I'm never gonna hear the end of this.
and that apparently triggered a defensive response from something, as the area under their feet immediately collapsed into the overall blue sand, and then bursting out of the sand appeared an enormous mechanical worm with a single baleful eye that they had to fight, as it would proceed to grab them with strange nanomachine tendrils as it was disassembling them on apparently a molecular level with beams of energy and attacks. And they fought tooth and nail against it in its many phases until ultimately the killing blow was struck by none other than everybody's favorite dog, Nyx. She's a good girl. And as they defeated the Leviathan of the Sapphire Sea, it crumbled back into sand, and as they had a moment to kind of recompose themselves, out of that sand appeared a humanoid person bearing strange garb and symbols, who apparently had distinctively metallic and mechanical aspects to their being. And it proceeded to speak in utter nonsense to the party in a incredibly ancient version of High Wayfarer that even Nafisa, who speaks High Wayfarer, could only somewhat understand because it was just that divorced from everything she was taught. But as the players began to speak more, the being was able to begin translating into the normal Wayfarer that most people speak as the common tongue. And they were filled with a kind of incredible sense of confusion about their current state. And they felt like they had been, kind of dissipated for a long time until the heroes had defeated the Leviathan, when they were able to, piece together some cohesive memories out of the pile of sand. And it turns out that sand is not actually sand. That's actually incredibly tiny nanomachine specks that a portion of them reformed themselves in this being who referred to themselves as Omega, and they refer to themselves in a plural way because they are literally multiple things. And they tried to touch Soleil, and he was not about it, and so they backed off from that. And the party decided to take a moment to rest with a short rest. And that's, I think, where we're going to pop back in. If anybody else remembers anything of note.
I bit the dog.
Oh, yes. Soleil
that was
bit the
pretty
dog.
fucked.
Bit the dog poorly, no less.
Yeah.
Yeah, Soleil went into a berserk state and attacked Nyx twice. But yeah, so you guys are having some time to rest. You did say that you're going to take a short rest. You do know that it probably wouldn't be able to do a long rest here because the Zephyr ship will likely get there, by 8 hours or such. So it probably would not be a good idea to be camping literally outside of it when they arrive. But you can take a short rest. So I believe Aurora was talking about the dome, but maybe the dome would happen when you guys opt for a long rest.
It'll happen when we take long rest because
Okay.
I got no slots left, baby.
Okay. So we will begin with none other than Aurora. Aurora, you're empty. You're tapped as you sit on the bank of all this sand.
I imagine she's just kind of having a bit of a moment. She's in terms of mechanical, she has one first level spell slot left, and that is it. So It's been a very long time since she's been that threatened. In fact, maybe ever. That's the most threatened she's ever been. And it's just kind of gonna take a second, sit down, and really just try and rest and recuperate.
Okay. As you're resting and recuperating, your shadow kind of peels out from under you and starts going to the portions of your skin and wool that have been uh, evaporated because of the many disintegrating rays of the Leviathan, and the darkness just kind of begins to soothe and salve the locations, and you see your skin beginning to knit back together. It's like first it's like little black sinews extend from the different parts of the skin before they rejoin together, and it's just like your normal skin all over again. And you see the purple eyes looking up from you, or looking up at you from your shadow.
Oh, that's not kind of you. Uh, I don't think I would have made it through there if you didn't have my back during the fight.
It was unfortunate. You seem to be in the most imperiled position we've ever seen, or I've ever seen you. Sorry, my Omega triggering in. I've ever seen you. I had to do everything I could. I am sorry I couldn't do more.
Oh, well, I mean, I wouldn't blame yourself too much. I know. Well, you're just a, you're just a shadow. I don't. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think shadows can do very much for influencing the physical.
I I've been able to lend you some of my strength, but it seems like you will likely require more if you choose to engage in more of this behavior.
That line particularly kind of resonates with her a bit, and she just kind of like looks off to the side to her left. Just how. I mean, I didn't exactly expect it to be just so damn life or death in these situations, but I mean, the uh, the money's good. That's something, right?
If it helps you survive, but you have to survive to be able to spend it.
Right. I don't think I made great decisions back there, if I'm being honest. Kind of just ran away from everybody else, said, "Oh yeah, it'll be fine." It was certainly not fine. I mean, I lived, but it's a bit different than that. Whew. Oh God.
You did stand and fight, though.
You're right. I guess I did. And hey, I did the thing that that freaking damn Archmage said that I couldn't do. I did that to it, and it did a lot of damage. So that's a victory. That means that I'm growing, and that's important. So hey, we're learning things, and we're gonna keep getting better, and it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
Yes, we will. I'll do everything I can. I I think that I will give you more of I will give you more of my energy. If you are going to encounter more of these issues, I will have to step up my protection of you.
Is that is that I'm I mean, I don't really know what's going on in a lot of ways. Is that all right with I guess I don't know the limits. I take it you're something real powerful, but I've only ever seen you as just a companion in terms of how you can help.
I have
Wow.
many powers. I do not wish to overwhelm you by using too much of them, but you have grown since we have been together, and I I think you are ready, and frankly, you've never placed yourself in such precarious positions before, so I didn't think you would need as much as I could give.
Huh. I'm looking forward to seeing what you're capable of, Nefris.
And I am looking forward to see what you are capable of, Aurora.
You know, you may feign a little bit of a lack of emotion, but there's a lot of care in your heart. I don't know if it's transactional because of, well, you know, but I don't know. I think you got a bit more heart in there than at least you did at the start.
You are my purpose, and clearly, you are having some effect on me.
You can't just go around saying you are my purpose to someone like that. Oh, I'm gonna make me swoon.
But it is accurate. You are.
She was teasing the first time, and then that second time just starts to like blush a little bit. I'm just like the whew. God.
Oh boy.
Ooh boy.
I will say, though, that as I lend you more power, my presence would become more obvious.
Oh, right. Would you be alright with me telling? I mean, I know Soleil knows, but the others? Is that alright?
There is power in secrets and knowledge. It is the intrinsic nature of my court. But if you trust them with this, know that you are exposing yourself. And I will always protect you, but it is your decision to make.
Hmm. I think if we if we keep working together, it's gonna come up eventually. I mean, Soleil pegged us really quite quick. No one's ever been able to do that. So, I don't know. I guess it's probably not good to hide secrets. Maybe they'll get mad if I keep hiding secrets. Oh, why does life have to be so hard?
If it was easy, there would be no significance to it.
Oh damn, that's something real deep there, Netters. First you go about spouting that I am your purpose, and then you give me this deep line. Dang girl, you got some fine knowledge up there.
I am a comparatively simple spirit, but these are truths in my world, and they are seemingly truths in yours.
Fair enough. This by the way, this weird black sinew, that's gonna turn back into my skin eventually, right?
Yes, it is only a temporary measure as I try to re-knit you from the previous versions of you.
Previous versions of me. Oh my god. That sounds a little spooky. But, I mean, as long as it ain't coming back as like my hand, it's alright.
Good. It should not. But the most important thing is that you will be whole.
And if she can...
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you go.
If she can, she's going to try and lean her head onto Nethris's shoulder.
Okay. The shadow does appear more substantive than usual. Like, we'll say you're facing the sand and the shadow is coming from in front of you, over you, so you kind of lean your head onto her shoulder as this shapeless kind of form is knitting together your skin and fluff. But you do feel it. It feels cold. It feels cold and somewhat, I would say, jelly-like. It's a bit, there's a bit of a bounce to it. Like, it's not an entirely solid object, but it's there.
Oh. You take such good care of me. I wish there was something I could do to repay you beyond our, well, arrangement.
You already do so much. All I want to see is you continue to paint and to be happy.
I mean, I guess I think about it as I'm doing, like it's something for the Raven Queen, you know? Like I give her a few paintings here and there. It's not you, though. You're different than her.
I experience what you do. I see the art you create. While you may not be giving it to me, I do experience it in my own way.
Darling, that don't feel like enough for me. I think with friends, generally, you gotta... Well, I mean, is friends the right word? I don't... Oh, God. Hey, moving on. I'm not gonna think about this anymore.
So be it. You can simply relax and let me take care of you.
All right. Thank you again.
Of course. And she continues to knit you back together. All right. Anything else, Aurora?
I think we'll save any proper introductions for a later scene.
Okay. Also, the question of, I remember you mentioned this, but do you want to draw the sea while you're here?
Yes, she absolutely would. If this is the chance to do it,
Yeah,
after
because you
Nethris
will
is
have to
done.
leave it after probably an hour or so.
Yeah. Then, yes, she would draw the sea, probably more so back with the party, like, now that she's gotten restitched and, like, allowed herself to do her meditation to get a spell slot back.
Gotcha.
Would go back to the party and just start drawing.
Okay. You start drawing away. Nafisa. I believe you wanted to talk to a certain beat booper.
Yeah, our new friend, my new bestie in the making. I assume as we're all short resting, we're like kind of gathered, not in a tight circle, given how like Aurora fucked off over the dunes for a second, basically. But yeah, no, Nafisa's gonna make no head and show of it and just sit next to Omega and go, so, hi Omega, you don't know much about where you are and stuff right now, yes?
The Omega with that metallic skin, like the metallic sheen to their otherwise, fairly conventionally humanoid-looking skin, except for the seams of pulsing energy coursing through it. Turns their head, and those like camera aperture lens eyes dilate out and then shrink back in as it's seemingly like targeting lens focusing on you, as they turn to you and say, we do not require anything. We are experiencing.
I mean, after we rest, we are going to go experience more things with like other places and people. And I thought that's what I was going to learn too. But then like my teacher, Mr. Jacobs, and a few other people made sure that I like knew how things worked before I went. Otherwise, I would have been really rude. So now I'm a very civilized and polite girl. So I was thinking, so if it's been a while for you, maybe we could go over like a current events, history, culture. I have a lot of notes. They're written in High Wayfarer, so you should have no problem reading them. And Nafisa's gonna pull out like her journal and then a few of her other books and scrapbooks.
Omega will look at the assembled things and say that would be acceptable. We think that we can be able to better find our reason if we have more information.
That's a good reason for traveling. I mean, yeah, you need to go around to lots of places to figure that out. So here, and Nafisa will just whip out a map of the continent. She would have that, I hope. And it's like this right here, we are in the blue sea. That's all you, as far as I can tell. Down here, there's the Eastern Marches. Then there's Erixia. There's the Euphas. We'll be going here as she like points to. She's currently pointing to Thiricum as their like next location. But yeah, lots of places act very differently based on where you go. I assume you probably already know that.
These are
actually
different than the places that I once knew, or that we once knew.
Oh, do you remember what it looked like? Here, I have a spare book you can use to keep notes, if you would like to draw it.
We do not need to keep notes. We are able to process and store all of the information we receive.
Oh yeah, my brain is really wrinkly too, but I find it's good to write out what I've experienced for the day. Even if I do remember it, it's nice to just put it out. If you'd like, you can just keep it anyways. Who knows, you might use it, you could just chuck it at somebody, worst case.
We will receive your offering, and we will process this information appropriately.
So it's been a long time since you've like talked to people, right?
We did not really talk to people from what we understand. We simply existed.
Oh, that's such a that's good then. I mean, like it's good that you can talk now. I mean, because like talking and meeting people is such a big part of like exploring the world and like living and stuff. I'm really grateful to have met these people here and you as well, Omega.
These people are capable. You have made a astute tactical decision.
They're going to be really good members of my party. See, it's like Nafisa like pulls up like the crayon drawing of her like dream party, and it's like she's doodled in Soleil, Aurora, and Feng.
Aww.
Oh.
This is a very simple depiction of these people.
I mean, I have to like make it fit in my notes and stuff. But I can't draw them super detailed. I'd have to give them like whole like not even whole pages. I'd have to get canvases, and then I can't fit that in my books, not in my bag.
Yeah. You lack appropriate resources. We understand this.
It's okay. When we go traveling, there'll be lots of ways to take resources. Besides, I always have my camera. Actually, Omega, would you like a picture?
Why would we need a picture?
It's nice to look at. See, it's like look at my little scrapbook.
And you see them just like look over your book and say, "We have all of these pictures now." And they hold out their hand, and their hand just literally morphs into the pictures you've taken. Like it just cycles, like it's one of those like digital picture frames. As
Incredible.
apparently the nanomachines just keep reforming into all the shapes of the pictures, and then disappear again and reforming into another.
Oh, that's so cool! That means I don't have to take like double the photos if I take them with you. You could just like have them a copy for you and a copy for me. Could I take a photo with you?
We see no reason why it would matter.
It would matter to me because you seem really cool. And even if you decide not to stay with us, I would like to, take a photo of you and maybe frame it one day in my home and look back on it fondly as I think about my dear friend Omega.
We find your projections to the future to be misguided, but we see no reason to object.
Then here's to many more photos as she like gets the camera out and puts her arm around Omega to pull her in for a selfie as like Nyx comes to like be between them. Snap.
Omega feels surprisingly like solid when you touch them. Like they do feel like it looks like skin, but they do feel artificial. Like there is a rigidity to the skin and clothing that is not how normally people are. And they don't feel cold. They actually feel like very much warm. Like there's like an electronic underneath something, like your laptop's been resting on your desk for a while.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like my PC's been on Monster Hunter for like the past 8 hours. Yeah.
So they feel very warm underneath that metallic sensation. And you pull them in. They continue to look impassive as you take your photo.
Ooh, this is very nice. I will save it. And if you ever have any good moments with the others, I'll take photos for them too.
We do not see a reason why we would need that. We can be able to permanently remember them and recreate them at will.
I mean, that's true, but that's you, right? I might not always be with you, and they might not always be with you. Which is why these photos are so important to me. I also know that some people might not remember stuff as good, and I want to say I'll never forget, but I might forget, and yeah, that's sad to think about.
We see you are at your core temporary beings.
Very temporary.
Such impermanence must be troubling to you.
A thing isn't beautiful because it lasts.
We do not understand.
Well, like, the sun is really pretty, right?
The sun is simply a celestial object.
Pretty. Celestial, pretty, same thing. It's very nice the way it shines on everything and gives warmth, but then it sets. And I think if the sun were around like 24/7, disregarding the major environmental impacts of that kind of thing.
Yes, you would all die.
I think, yes. It's really, really nice to... It feels more important because it goes away and comes back. I appreciate that time with it much more, knowing each second mattered all that much more because it disappeared. And that's the case with you, and me, and them, and Nyx.
We feel like we understand the inherent philosophical tenets of your statements. We know why this is important to you. We do not share your sentiments, but we would not stand in the way of them.
That's okay. We're friends. We help each other and support our tenets. Speaking of, you said you wanted to find a reason, right? For you being around?
We wish to be whole. We wish to understand our reason. We have lost We've lost the why, and we seek it.
But you don't know where the why is, right?
We do not.
Then stick with us. We're going to be going to many different places and seeing many different people and things. We'll find your why somewhere, probably. And worst case, you can always make your own from the things you experience with us.
We think that that would be antithetical, but we do believe that perhaps exploration would lead to solutions. You are capable and you understand this barbaric world better than we do. And so we see no reason not to accompany you until we have discovered our purpose and we have become whole.
Mm-hmm. And I hope that when you do become whole, you stick with us even longer. But we should figure out, we need to talk about the world because, I was kind of really prepared and I still messed up a bunch and I don't want you to suffer the things I did, so we should talk about stuff like, currency and trading and transit and geopolitical relationships. And
we see. We are prepared for your instruction.
And I think with that, Nafisa will just go over her notes between what Jacobs went with her back in the steppes, and versus what she's learned in modern day, like the banking, the credits, pretty much just everything, so that if anything confusing comes up, we can hand wave it as an Omega learned about it already.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good. Yeah, Omega will process things. They'll ask lots of questions. Perhaps questions that Nafisa can't answer because they get to why. They ask lots of whys and attack why is it necessary for the system to exist? Why has no one eliminated it?
I could go on the list. Ending capitalism goes on party's goal list.
But yeah, you can spend your time explaining things to them. The good news is, despite all their questions, they do pick up everything ludicrously quickly. So you obviously can't expound all of human knowledge that you have in the next hour, but you get as much as you can in the time allotted you.
Yes, all to help Omega. Nafisa stomps to the Omega goes up. I'm just saying, guys, when she becomes a member of the party, Nafisa will be 20 steps ahead.
5D chess. You're just really preparing yourselves for when the robots have their uprising, that they'll spare you.
I'll be safe.
We find your presence inefficient but allowable in our new regime.
But yeah, I think that's good on that free time ops. Unless there's something else you think we should talk to Omega about.
No, I think that's good, especially because you have to. I presume that you want to talk to Soleil before you guys leave. That's while you're still with Nyx and everything, and post getting nommed. So I think we'll jump over to you and Soleil.
Yeah, I think some time will have passed after the talking, and then Nafisa can tell that Omega probably wants some space because the girl is too yippee-coded. And we'll just scuttle over to Soleil.
I imagine after the events with the post robot worm fight, Soleil seems a little antsy, fidgety, he can't sit still very well in this moment, and it's pretty apparent that his mind is being pulled in a couple different places, but he's not really doing anything about it.
Assuming he's disassociating until Nafisa scuttles up next to him and then pokes him on the shoulder.
Yeah.
Soleil?
Oh. Hey, Nafisa.
Hi, are you okay? Your eyes were glazed over, but not in the usual way they are when we're hearing big words.
Oh, No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I just feel a little antsy. That's all. It happens after fighting. It'll be fine. I'll be fine.
Do you want to talk?
Uh, about what?
About anything. I would like to talk, but I would like to talk in like private over the dunes. Maybe I do not wish to you know, if we're talking about feelings, because I also feel antsy after a fight, and I know some people aren't comfortable with their feelings out, and I don't want to distract Aurora and who's painting and out of character. I think Feng is also like maybe doing some maintenance on her arm to like give it a second.
Yeah,
Yeah, she
yeah,
does
sure.
stuff.
Yeah.
We
Uh,
can head over there and talk.
yeah. Guys, we will be talking about important martial things over the dune. Okay, we're not to disappear. We'll be right back. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Very well.
Wizard tooting out, oh, Marshall bullshit.
Easiest way to get the casters to stop listening. Okay, okay. We'll step over. Okay, Soleil. So it's just you and me. Are you like really okay?
Oh shit, you actually wanted to talk. Okay.
Well, yeah, I said I wanted to talk now and like before, and yeah.
Yeah, I just thought it. Never mind. Never mind. Yeah, we can talk. No,
Mhm.
it's I just get like I said, I just get a little antsy after a fight, and it's I've never quite experienced a loss of control like that before, to be honest. I
Oh,
feel I feel real bad about what I did.
um, Soleil, do you normally fight like that when you're like? I mean, I've seen you sort of turn into that before, but when you mindlessly bite like that, do you do that to like everybody you fight in that form?
Well, I mean, yeah, that's how I usually fight. I mean, I'm a I'm a hound,
Well,
but
yes.
I don't turn on my own. That's what I'm worried about.
Do you do you think it's like even like from you're talking about in comparison to how you were before coming here, right? You were from the Feywilds, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Do you are you stressed out, nervous? Do you miss home?
Huh. Um, I mean, home's nice and all. I enjoy being there, but it's not like I get homesick or nothing.
I mean, consciously, yeah. I mean, you might not be crying about missing your mama or your home or your family, but maybe a part of you could be feeling that. And even if that's not the case, I mean, if you're normally in control, I can't see you like unless that's like a normal thing for you to like lash out like that. I don't know, Soleil. I'm just worried. Were you like that when you were fighting those guys back in that guy's house we broke into?
Well, I have a clearer memory of what happened. I definitely didn't. I didn't turn on Aurora, if that's what you're asking.
Oh no, I mean like if you turned on Aurora, I'm pretty sure she would be yelling about it. I think she would make it a very big point, and she would like pop like a balloon. But um, I, it's just the same way you tried to bite Nyx, you bite other people, right? When we fight, if you
Sure.
were pushed like that back at the house, I mean, who could you have bitten? And then
Oh,
you.
just like the bad guys.
Mm, do you think it's okay to kill the bad guys?
He like quirks his head and he's like, well, yeah, they were an obstacle.
Yeah, but there are other ways to get around an obstacle. Like when you cross a bridge, you don't have to blow it up.
Why would you blow up a bridge to cross it?
Bad analogy. Sorry. Wayfarer is like my second language. But Soleil, those guys that you killed and the way you like lashed out like that at Nyx, when people die, they are killed. They don't, they don't get anything more usually, right?
Uh-huh.
And well, I mean, is it? How do I word this? Should I did I tell you a story? A couple of stories? Just two?
Yeah.
Or maybe one?
By all means.
Okay. I'm going to tell you about my dad, but I'm not going to say his name because he told me not to mention it. But so you keep this secret, okay? You don't tell him, you don't tell anybody, okay?
I can't tell him if I don't know who he is.
Perfect. You're already there. When I was, younger and I told my babu that I wanted to travel the world like my mama did, and he did, naturally he, trained me, right? And one of these trainings, he chucked me into the wilds in the middle of the night to fend for myself, and I was getting really hungry. And he was watching me the whole time, so I knew I was relatively safe. And during that night, I needed to live, so I killed an animal. I took a knife to its neck and, and it fell over. And I remember realizing at that moment that it died. It died because I needed to kill it. And then I started to cry, and that's when my babu came out of the woods and talked to me about, life and death and all that. And he told me his answer to it was to close himself off. When somebody needs to die, they should die. When someone's in your way, you should kill them and not think about it. And I really didn't like that answer. I didn't like what he told me a lot. So when I ate that deer, I decided that I would eat him not because I needed to, but not just because I needed to, but because I would do more with what he gave me, his meat and stuff. So back when we were at that house and we were fighting those guys, I, beat them up because, maybe they're like us, maybe they're just working, a job. And, maybe they decide, maybe I don't want to hurt people anymore. Maybe I want to work at a bakery, The guy I knocked out, he could be working at a bakery right now, and we wouldn't have those baked goods if I killed him.
You telling me I should start eating people to make it worth it?
No. There's a big difference between like a deer and a person, unfortunately. Like a regular deer, not like you. You're a very special deer. But, how do I say this? Sorry, I had it and then I lost it, that comparison. That takeaway.
Listen,
Soleil, I'm not stupid, I'm a bit dumb, but I'm not stupid. I know we're gonna have to kill somebody eventually. Eventually, we might give somebody a chance, and they'll say, "No, we want to get in your way again with the fight." And then I understand if we have to kill somebody. But life is really precious. If your bite took away Nyx or took away me, how do you think that would make you feel?
well, I'd probably feel pretty bad. After all, you trusted me. But those guys, Nafisa, I mean, they weren't good people. Like, you're talking about dudes working at a bakery, but like, they had other agendas. They had other schemes.
Mm,
Not everyone's gonna be good. Like, you know that, right?
I know. I know, some people will choose to be bad, and I want to give them that choice. Life is freedom to me, Soleil, and I don't want to take that away from anybody. Much like how I'm not gonna tell you to stop killing people, okay? You can keep doing it. But if you ever talk like my dad and say that life isn't important, or if you ever mess up like my babu definitely did, and you close yourself off like that, you have to promise to be open to me, okay? I don't want you to end up like that. If you kill the wrong person or bite the wrong person, if you go feral and hurt somebody you want to not hurt, you have to be open to letting us help you, okay?
I will strive to do so, if only to give you some peace of mind. Frankly, I think I don't know if I should say this. I don't want you to think I'm anything. Well, I was gonna say dangerous, but you know I'm dangerous.
You kill people, that means you are dangerous, but you are my friend, so that takes priority. So you can say what you want to say.
I'm concerned that the Hound doesn't view you as a worthy ally, and that's why I turned against you.
She's like processing that information. I mean, Nyx bit the worm. Did the Hound see that? Is the Hound going to tell you to bite this again? I don't know who this Hound is, but they are not my friend. You are my friend. And if you try to bite any of us again, if you can't control yourself, I want you to know that it's okay if you bite me or Nyx from now on.
You say that, but I still don't quite enjoy that potential outcome.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying that if it does happen, and you get all antsy like this again, I want you to know it's okay, and we can talk about it, okay? We don't have to solve this now. People have lots of challenges in their life. And that's okay. If this is yours, then we'll deal with it. You're my friend.
He kind of is quiet for a moment and just looks off into the dunes, and you're talking like there's something in me that needs fixed.
Oh, I didn't mean it like that, Soleil. But if this is going to happen again, if we fight too hard and you bite out, I just wanted to let you know that it's... I mean, obviously it's not okay to hurt your friends, but I'm not going to close myself off to you if you do it to me or Nyx. That's all. I didn't want to downplay you or anything.
And you're really okay with that?
She like nods.
You are strange.
Strange is as strange does. And we are a couple of strange people.
Yeah. How
My
are you
uncle...
how are you
What?
so upbeat all the time about everything?
Mm,
Even this. Here I am saying that I can't guarantee that I won't hurt you or Nyx again, and you just smile and say it's okay.
I don't really know if there's any one reason. I've met lots of people in my life, and they all made me who I am. My mama's stories are definitely a big start, but my aunt, uncle, family, Professor Jacobs, they all let me flower. And you, Aurora, Feng, and now Omega, Lunis, his moms, you've all been so good. You've all been good experiences too. So I will be extra good because I met you. And I hope that I can help you all be extra good too.
We'll see about the goodness factor.
Like I said, it's okay if you decide to kill people, okay? But, if you ever get upset about it, you have to let me talk to you, okay?
All right.
And then she's going to, like, scooch up next to him and, like, wrap herself around one of his arms and just, like, hug him or cuddle him that way. My uncle told me this was a good way to calm the nerves. As, like, Nyx will walk up and, like, rest her head on Soleil's lap. As, like, a therapy dog.
Oh. He very hesitantly reaches out to pet Nyx. He's fully expecting Nyx to like bite him. If anything, just fair is fair.
She'll let you.
But yeah, he'll give her little pets and sort of lean over to you and like, because he's a good bit bigger than you are, but just kind of prop his head on top of your head.
I know we posited the idea of this. Would it be possible for Soleil to understand Nyx after this moment without requiring Draconic?
Sure.
I can speak dog.
You understand, dog. You don't speak, dog.
Got it.
I think
Bark, bark.
Okay, Soleil, I think we should go back before they realize that we're like actually gone. Oh, before we do though, Nyx and I thought it over, and we thought you should have this. As she takes out the insignia of claws that Nyx had, and it's a little band made out of a variety of like runic of like teeth and scales and runes on it, and then you see like very noticeably at either end of where the band is tied, there is like there are a pair of stone scales that have been shedded off from Nafisa and Nyx. You no, go ahead, Sardi.
I don't understand.
Well, it makes you better at the whole like biting thing, which might seem counterintuitive, but if you bite the bad guys before you push that far, that's good, right? And also this way, like, oh, good.
I was saying Nyx mimics like biting with going.
Oh.
Yeah, and this way, if you do go feral and you need to find something to anchor onto, well, Nyx and I will be with you, okay? As she like kind of ties it around your arm, and you can kind of feel the scales dig into your skin a little bit. Like it's almost irritating, but like not quite enough to change it.
Well, thank you. Are you sure Nyx won't need it more than me?
If you feel bad, I could lend you some money, and then you can get like a Soleil little band to give Nyx. That way, we'll have a piece of you with us.
No. Trust me. After this job, I'll return the favor.
Okay, that sounds fair.
Thank you.
Anytime, Soleil. Now we should go back. I think I hear Aurora like doing that dry brushing thing she does at the end of a painting.
Okay. As you head back, Feng, it's your turn to grill Soleil about being garbage.
What?
JK.
Soleil just coming back like we weren't making out. Just talking.
Yeah, we were not crafting anything. That is not like a thing I do.
It seems an oddly specific denial.
I'm back.
So fun.
Yes.
Do you wish to approach our dear dog boy? Not to be confused with our dog girl.
I would, I would.
So Soleil, well, Tien over here wants to have a word with you.
Yeah. What can I do you for?
I would like to know, with all due respect to the cultures and traditions and practices of your people in the Feywild, what the fuck was that?
You're gonna have to be a lot more specific there.
The part where you attacked Nyx.
Listen, if you're concerned about that, myself and Nafisa, we panned it out. Everything's fine.
I'm not so concerned with that. I am more concerned with the why. You see, I grew up the daughter of a professor of history. It is in my nature to want to know why something bad happens, so it does not happen again. I would simply like you to tell me what that was and why it happened.
Coming
I
off of
hold
the
no blame, but I would quite pressingly like to know.
Yeah, coming off of the conversation that he just had with Nafisa, uh, which was very, like, accepting, he does not like being grilled like this.
That's a shame.
And so, yeah, so he's just gonna stand up a little straighter and cross his arms and just, you really want to know?
I am very curious. You are a very interesting man.
Thing is, Feng, and I explained the same thing to Nafisa, is I know that you know that I can be dangerous. And trust is not a thing that's easily earned. I get that. So if I tell you what I think happened, I don't want you thinking that I'm just some sort of animal.
I understand what it means to be viewed as lesser, as perhaps something not worth the basic dignity assumed by humanoids and their like. If you speak, I will listen.
He gives a deep sigh. He's already had this conversation once, and it went decently well, but he's still not happy about it. Looks around.
You know, the consequences of his actions.
Listen. And just turns to Feng, just... I have a sneaking suspicion that the beast might not view you all of you as worthy allies. Because frankly, in the hunts that I've been on back home, I've never turned on my own. A hound recognizes a hound.
I see. So it requires convincing?
It's never needed convincing before, so I don't know.
Do you remember anything happening immediately before you lost custody of your senses?
I remember I was hurting, and I wanted to make something else hurt.
You see, she takes out a notebook. Just this tiny, very beat up little thing. It's some people talk to themselves, some people have the grace of doing it all in their head. This little notebook is where she does her thinking. Very well. Keep Soleil uninjured. Noted. I don't suppose there's a more convenient way to speak with your... I must confess, I do not know the relationship between you and your hound. Is
Oh,
it
it's not.
someone separate?
No, it's not. It's not a separate entity. The hound is me. I am a hound.
Nafisa like gasping and then adding that to her notes. I'm sorry. I slipped up. I fucked up. I fucked up. I fucked up.
So like you can still like, even if I look different, you can still like talk to me. I'm still
I know, I
me.
have. But when you said the hound does not view all of us as worthy, I chose to make the assumption of assuming no ill intention, that it was not you who did not think all of us were worthy.
It's a bit difficult to explain. The hound is not its own entity. It's not its own person. It is very much a part of me and has been since, well, as far back as I can remember, but sometimes it does have these urges.
Hmm. So it is you and it is not you.
It is me.
I see. Very well. I imagine I am missing some greater significance of culture and understanding, so I daren't assume that I understand nor that you can fully express whatever the full detailing of your story is, but I hope that at some point I and our peers are considered to be worthy, not just by yourself, Soleil, but by all of yourselves.
I hope so too, because I would frankly rather not do that again.
I would rather not have to consider how to put you down, she says with just a very earnest smile.
I don't think you quite understand what you'd be getting into there, Feng, so I'll let that slide.
Of course, I would not want to get in your way. I would not want to upset you. I'm merely stating the fact that I do not wish to harm you, nor see any of our friends harmed by you. And I do not do well with hypotheticals.
You might have to. Because, as I told Nafisa, I can't guarantee it won't happen again.
And I will be there for that time. And the time after. And the time after. Until I figure out a more lasting solution.
Shit, here Nafisa's, putting on this buddy-buddy act. Saying she'd, forgive me each time it happened. You're here ready to, put me down.
Oh, I would not
Or
say
try
that.
to, anyway.
I would not say I would put you down, nor even I would try to. I try to enact mercy because I find in my experience violence has not been particularly kind to greater goals than such base instinct. Not to say anything ill of base instinct. I do not wish to offend. But
Not you too.
not me too.
I got the moral lecture of a lifetime.
I don't know about morals more than any other philosopher. Indeed, you yourself are a philosopher.
Listen. Y'all have your methods. I've got mine.
I don't disagree. I do not wish to consider having to harm you. I hope that that is some measure of consolation. And I simply hope, in as sincere a means as I can make it, or that my imperfect choice of wording can express it, that I am able to make sure that you are not in a situation where you have to hurt someone that you would rather not.
You just kind of tilts his head and he goes, "You know, of all the people that are in our little party, I can't quite read you. The other two, I think I got pretty easily. Nafisa, she is blissfully optimistic, but I can't help but think it's a bit of an act to hide something else. Aurora, well, she's got avoidance issues for days. You, however, I just don't get."
Flattery will get you many places, Soleil. But you needn't try to flatter me.
Well, that's not flattery, that's just observation.
Well, I suppose it would not be exaggeration to say that I perhaps am not quite as deep as I make myself out to be. Nor are you quite as shallow as you sometimes let others assume you are. Perhaps someday I will also be able to have the inner and outer selves agree that you are also worthy to share such information. I do look forward to it.
Well, Feng, I imagine it's going to be a bit before our next job, so you're in no immediate danger or need to threaten me. So,
Wonderful.
if you ever find yourself in need of some flattery, you know where to find me.
It would be a pleasure to see what new tricks old hound like yourself can teach.
I look forward to showing you. I got plenty of tricks. And he'll give a little nod of his head and go back to his business.
All right.
Okay. So, with that, Soleil has been thoroughly grilled by most of the party. The rest of the short rest will go by, and you guys feel it's probably time to start the long walk to Thiricum. So, anybody who wants can roll survival, or you can give somebody else advantage on survival if you're proficient.
Sorry, I gotta double check all of the ranger features. I'm just proficient in survival.
Okay.
I'm down to roll it. Meris, big man.
Yeah, I'm also down to roll or give you advantage.
I think we should go for roll survival. That's basically advantage if you think about it.
That's true. That's true.
It's a 10.
Okay.
That's a 19.
19. Soleil. You know, Nafisa is vibing so much with observing all these planes and stuff as you guys leave the Sapphire Sea that, she still gets like the gist of the right direction, but you definitely feel like looking at the map, like you've got a more direct route that you're able to find to make the time go by a bit faster. And it will help lead you to as the hours go by. I'm curious, how does everyone react to walking for literal hours? Because I know Nafisa, it's no big deal. Soleil, it's probably no big deal. But what about Feng-chen and Aurora?
Well, as good as it looks, the freaking fur-lined cloak is off. I think we're probably replacing the standard hand with one that is just a folding fan. Completely useless as a hand, but
Yeah,
it'll help with everything else for now.
walking for hours in 90-degree heat. Uh, Aurora, how are you
I
handling this?
I imagine she's still got the little thing that's the scarf. I wasn't sure if there's a better word for
Yeah,
it.
the headscarf.
Um, the headscarf that Nafisa gave, but just as a little bit of flavor, I like to imagine that as everybody started going, Aurora was still drawing or still painting, and it's just like, oh, okay, oh, 1 second, just like quickly scuttles everything together before it starts walking. But as she walks, she's lived in the wilderness for a lot of the last year, but he is nowhere near this level in the UFAS. So I imagine she's just like doing her best to just kind of keep it up, but just like very much drinking most of the water herself, probably. Just very
Gotcha.
much trying to keep on keeping on because she is struggling.
Gotcha.
Oh, actually, you know what I can do?
Hmm.
I'd like to use as we're walking, just tinker with my arm a bit, open up the vents, reroute the heat sink so that I can cast Gust for the day. Try and use that to help keep the party slightly more comfortable.
Okay. Yeah, you
I
guys.
also think. Oh,
Sorry,
sorry.
Soleil.
I was just gonna say, I think at some point Soleil would offer to carry Aurora.
Oh, look,
She would
she hasn't
accept
had her
without a moment's hesitation.
she
Yep,
hasn't had
yep,
her summer shear yet.
yep.
You've got to buzz your sheep girls in the summer or they overheat.
So
All right,
Soleil's gonna have an Aurora backpack.
Okay.
If it
thank
gets
you.
if it gets really bad, I mean there are wreckages, right? We could like ramshackle a sled, but then the Zephyr ship might catch up to us or notice us.
Hmm.
Just positing an idea as a player.
Um,
You're a real console Soleil. Thank you.
Yeah, well, can't have you falling behind.
I certainly would be.
So like, if you get tired, I can carry you too.
Omega pipes in and
Carry
goes,
me.
if you all continue to exhibit physical weakness, we can be able to overcome your failures.
Yeah, not all of us can hardwire, physical improvements. We're moving.
We do not involve wires.
That's the takeaway.
You got any air conditioning in you, Omega?
We can handle our own personal cooling.
Oh, fair enough.
The alternative would be wrapping ourselves around you, but we feel like you would find that uncomfortable.
Uh, I'll stick with this for now.
Yeah, Omega just plodding along. Nope, Omega is barefoot. They're literally just wearing stirrup fucking stockings and stuff that are
Oh my
part of
gosh.
their body, but they don't seem to mind at all. And they're just kind of surveying things and taking it all in. Um, but you guys will continue for the rest of the day. You can make perception checks if you are so inclined.
Sure. That is a nat 1.
Wow, you guys rolled a lot of nat ones in that setup. But
All
It's
right.
very hot.
Do I go for the natural or the modified 0?
Go for it.
Oh, it's 1, but not natural.
Wow.
Artificial one.
So we got a nat 1, a 15, a 23, and a non-nat 1. Aurora B are really suffering for being city slickers. But
The
Nafisa,
action economy, it's in shambles.
Nafisa does notice, like, as you guys are hours away walking, you can see, simply because of how big it is, a very small, like, object that is clearly not a bird flying towards the Sapphire Sea that you guys are several hours away from. So, just a neat thing.
Look, not a bird.
Wow, you're right. That is not a bird.
Nafisa points out, it's like, to you, it's like a blurry fucking UFO photo.
You sure that's not a bird?
No,
What is
definitely
a
not
big
a bird.
bird? Oh, okay.
Go back to sleep, Aurora.
All right, thank you.
The rest of the day, you will still be out in open plains as you are moving along the borderlands that basically stand between the southern part of the divine domain of Vanyaska and the northern part of the Ravennan Imperium. You're closer to the Vanyaskans than you are the Imperium at this point, just because of how north the Sapphire Sea is. And so you get to a point, the darkness is beginning to fall. You start setting up camp. Aurora, do you wish to build your dome?
I do indeed.
All right.
It splits it into 5 sections of it's only 10-foot radius, so, everybody's got about, I don't know how to calculate square feet, but,
Yeah.
enough room to stretch out 10 feet towards the center.
Good share.
Little curtains between each of the 5 sections that can be moved back and forth.
Okay. As you settle down, Aurora does get Aurora and also Feng-chen get the beautiful vision of the sheer sea of stars above you as you are out in unpolluted, unlight polluted natural environment, and you could just see thousands and thousands of stars. And when you actually look at it in this unfiltered version, you kind of get why the Valkoran religion, is so emphatic about the concept of the Sea of Stars, because it is truly overwhelming to look at.
It's been a long time since I've seen stars.
Yes.
I think I need a few more I should have brought more canvases. I was planning on painting the Sapphire Sea. I didn't realize we'd be getting some stars.
Do you want to paint these too? I'd offer to take a photo, but they're too far up.
I got a sketchbook. I can at least draw them in that. Just want to make it painting.
Oh, then I will draw with you.
Oh,
Those are fucking crayons.
Okay. Crayons. I think there was someone back at my college that drew some mighty fine stuff with crayons. It's kind of blew my mind because to me, I guess I only drew with them when I was like 4 or 5. But...
Oh, do you want to borrow some of mine then?
Oh no, I've got my
You can have the red one if you want. It's the best one.
I was wondering if you were going to say that, Sif.
I'm like, what, 3 for 3 on quoting dumb shit this session?
I think I got some real nice pencils in my pack, so That's what I'm comfortable with.
Okay, then I will be sitting right next to you, doodling.
Oh, sure.
And you can doodle and relax and stuff. You do notice as it gets darker, it gets a lot colder out here. Um, Probably because there's just really no blocking terrain. So the night is getting surprisingly cold by comparison to how hot the day was. I don't know. I don't think the dome weather controls. I think it just keeps out external stuff.
Yeah, I can't imagine it weather controls.
No, not at level 3. I don't think you get.
Sure.
I don't think you have AC or heating in your dome.
Cuddle pile.
But you guys have lots of supplies, for this. They did prepare you for these environments. It's just kind of surprising to the non-Nafisas.
I just looked at it, by the way. The atmosphere inside the space is comfortable and dry.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
Then never mind.
So
It's refreshing. Like, you have to go outside to pee, and you're like, Jesus Christ, thank God I have this dome. But,
the yurt life.
yep, yurt life. You're all in your
Yurt
dome.
life.
See, like, you don't need to necessarily have a watch unless you're afraid somebody's going to sneak up on you and dispel it in the middle of the night and kill you all. But, if you choose to have watches, you can.
I mean, I wasn't worried before.
Now I'm kind of thinking we need a watch.
We can do it. We can do it. It's good practice. It's like camping all over again.
But you don't need to.
Mm,
No one can get in this except us.
But the night stars are so pretty.
I mean, you can sleep out there. That's no harm done in that way.
Oh no, I mean, I don't mean it like that, but I'm gonna be up a little bit, and then if somebody else wants to be up, I could wake them up if they wanted.
I'm getting my 8 hours. Thank you very much.
Mhm.
So Nafisa takes watch, and then we'll go to sleep.
Yeah.
Um,
The spelling wizard spotted.
the dispelling wizard's attack.
No.
The
But-
not bird, it dispelled it.
Yeah, the period of your watch goes by uneventfully. It's just nighttime. Unlike now that you're a good several hours away from the Sapphire Sea, you do hear like some normal nighttime animal sounds in the plains, and when you get back into the dome, you do see that like at the end of your watch, you see that there's like a bit, there's these curtains, but there's some spillover underneath the curtains. Because it's only 5-foot spaces from where Omega was. Like, there's just like some blue, like goo, basically, like blue sand that has splooched out from under these curtains. And as you come in from your watch, you see it begin to start like pulling back under the curtain again.
I would like to investigate the splooge.
All right, you pull aside the
no.
curtain.
It's unfortunate.
You pull aside the curtain, and you see that there is a like a large, it's not super long, but it is wide, like blue puddle that's like just on the ground, and is beginning to coalesce back together into a form, and you begin to see forming out of it are legs and arms and the whole Omega body.
Omega?
Is something wrong, Nafisa?
Oh, I just didn't know you slept like that. It looks so comfortable.
We do not sleep, but we require some time to converse and convene and recalibrate.
Oh, okay. Do you want me to like keep it a secret? I know some people are really very secretive about their like beauty plans.
We do not feel like it has any strategic detriment. It is simply our state of being.
Ah, okay. Then I will let the others know in case they ever see you. Anyways, are you staying up for now, or?
We have no reason to remain in a state of comparative separation if beyond the specified period.
Oh, would you like some company then for a little bit? I can't stay up too much longer, but the stars are really pretty tonight.
That is acceptable. If you are so inclined, you could explain to us more about the unfortunate developments of this world.
You see her like actually like kind of more yippee coded smile of like the fact that Omega wants to talk more, and she'll stay up like an extra hour and a half talking to Omega before crashing like just right next to her.
Yep.
Maybe even like leaning the head on the shoulder and drooling down.
Aww.
Yeah, Omega doesn't disturb you. Omega doesn't sleep, so they only need their Warforged 2 hours of sentry rest, where they just engage in internal discussions amongst all this component nanomachine parts. But they will basically have vigilance the rest of the evening as Nafisa is flooped on them, and then presumably Nyx will roll up at another point and take the other side of Omega.
Yeah.
And yeah, you do get that feeling of the laptop being on your desk too long. It does keep you nice and warm in comparison to how cold it is outside.
I'm just saying, cats sleep on them for a reason. All right, it's gotta be comfy.
So yeah, with that, the rest of the night goes by uneventfully, and the next morning the dome collapses. It's a nice alarm clock because the dome collapses at 8 hours, so you're immediately filled with the heat and the humidity hitting you again. See, Aurora's fur or wool is getting quite frizzy.
Oh. Somebody remind me to do a little shearing when we get back.
While we get back, like you want to cut your wool while we're walking?
No, when we get back.
Well, it's been a very long trip. It's okay, Aurora. We can restore hooves soon.
It's only been one day, Nafisa. Don't patronize me.
Soleil and Nafisa knows this is going to take you a week to get to Thiricum.
Did you just offer to carry her again? She's just gonna turn to you, like shines in her eyes. Yes, please.
Don't patronize me. Also, uppies.
Uppies, please.
As day 2 goes, it's fairly uneventful, just a lot of walking, and there is a point though during day 2 that you do see perception checks about to happen. Make some perception checks.
More non-words.
While this is
I'm really looking for the natural 0.
While this is happening, could I ask just a quick question of Aurora? There it is. The
Aurora with the natural 0.
There it is.
Oh God.
Hold on. I forgot my
You
sheet.
willed that into existence, Aurora. That's a wish spell you just used.
Y'all.
Callan would be so proud.
Oh my God.
I can't say I wish.
I was just going to ask, is it weird to use your wool as fiber for weaving and spinning? Because it's not weird when you do it with an actual sheep or a goat.
I mean, I imagine you could do that.
There are
She's
people that make like lace front wigs with like real human hair. So
Yeah,
like,
it's a way of exploiting third world people mostly.
Aurora, can we wear you?
Omega did offer you to be inside of them, so.
Ayo.
I don't know if you want to actually weigh in on if Feng can start harvesting your wool, make a sweater out of you.
Not right now.
You wouldn't want it right now anyway. It's kind of gross.
Yeah.
Do you have prestidigitation at least?
No.
Oh, you can't give yourself the magic shower. Truly tragic.
No, I can't.
So you are
Stinky.
rapidly
Stinky
becoming
sheep.
a stinky sheep. But the as you go, Soleil, you do notice that you're actually being watched by, in the distance there are two horses with people on them that are looking you guys over.
Hey, y'all, I don't wanna, alarm you or anything, but, I think we got company.
Oh, horses. They are friendly.
No, it's the people on the horses I'm worried about.
Oh.
What in the hell?
People on horses.
Oh, I should wake up then.
You want me to put you down?
Yeah.
Alright. Kneels down so she can get off.
Oh my god,
Thank you,
literal
sweetie.
speed.
So cute.
Currently, they are just watching you guys. Is there anything you wish to do?
Should we hail them? Let them know they are seen as well?
I want to like wave at them, but I know last time I did something like that with our names, you guys were kind of upset. So could I wave at them?
I don't think it would necessarily hurt to at least signal that we're aware of their presence.
Moment of affirmation, she will start waving.
Okay. As you start waving, there's a moment's pause, and then you see the horses start going towards you guys. Not like at like speed or anything, but they're definitely like a slow ride towards you guys.
They're just coming at us slowly, menacingly.
Menacingly.
Yep.
The Lancelot bit.
As they get closer, you see it is a male half elf and a human female. They're wearing what very comfortable like riding leathers. They've got like a lot of supplies like on the back of their horses. They you notice that the female, the whole bottom half of her face has been replaced with a cybernetic that is styled very much like it still has the the solid jaw, but it's done in a natural kind of serene look for like what the bottom part of her mouth looks like in the metal. And you see that it's, for you guys have met Von Yaskins before, and it's very distinctly a Von Yaskin style cybernetic. And the male has one of his eyes has been replaced by what appears to be like a cybernetic eagle eye kind of thing. And they each have symbols of the snowflake and cog of the Von Yaskin faith, just like on like a little like lanyard kind of thing on their waists. Their horses have distinctly one or two legs each have been replaced by augmetics, and there's long rifles slung over the back of their horses in like a sheath kind of thing set up there, and they approach and kind of wave back to you.
Are they like within talking distance?
Yeah, they've rode up to you guys at this point.
Oh, okay.
That's how you can see everything.
Waving specifically with my augmetic arm.
You're with them. Hi. Welcome. Hi. We're still in the Sapphire Sea, right?
No, you're out.
Yeah.
So specifically, the Sapphire Sea itself is just the sand portion. Like that blue area is the Sapphire Sea. You're just now in the Eastern Marches, which is specifically the unclaimed border areas between the Divine Domain of Anyaska and the Ravenian Imperium.
Hi there. Hi. How are you all doing?
The male kind of pipes up and goes, "We are doing well. It is good to meet others, although it is strange to see such a disparate cast of characters walking through the plains. It is very inefficient.
Yeah, we got the lift, and then we don't have a lift anymore. Actually, do you know if there's like a nearby riding, like a nearby outpost? We could maybe buy a horse or a carriage to like help our travels. We like you know, two of us don't mind, a few of us don't mind hoofing it, but you know, some of us, you know, could use a horse maybe.
They kind of look at each other, go, unfortunately, our tribe is several days away from here. We were taking care of business, which is why we were in area, but you are far from the borders of the divine domain itself. You're simply in the the greater territorial range of our tribe as a whole.
Oh, okay, I see, I see, I see. And it is just do you know if there are any other tribes on the way there? We're currently making our way to Thiricum, as she like holds up the map. They probably know, but she's
Yeah.
like, you know, helpful.
Yeah. They look it over and they go, um, yeah, there should be at least beyond our territory. You would probably go another day or two, and then you would hit the Ravenin tribes that stand in the borderlands north of their outposts.
Oh, okay, okay, I see. Okay, so we should be there, and then you know, I mean, there's nothing bad going on. We can probably talk to them, maybe trade in some horses or shipping material. Yeah, that seems good. Thank you so much. Here, as she like reaches into one of her pockets and pulls out one of the many souvenirs she's collected. I imagine it's like a bundle of feathers from the Rhea tribe.
Oh, you have met the Rhea tribe?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. My grandfather was from them. I am from the Anhidar tribe.
We have not heard of the Anidar, but with the Rhea, yeah, we know the Rhea. Occasionally we see the riders come out to carry out the news from the Dragonlands, but not as many make it out this far west. Crossing the desert is not ideal for the normal smaller groups of riders that they usually do.
I know this is a little tough, but my grandfather makes sure that everybody gets their news. Mhm. But yes, I think we will continue traveling then towards the Leviathan side, see if we can get something to make our travels easier. But thank you so much. Is there anything in particular you were looking for coming up here, outside of doing your tasks, or did you just see us like existing and want to say hi?
We had heard there was a large burst of magical energy that was nearby, and so we went to go investigate. You can never be too certain when things happen near the Sapphire Sea, so we went to go investigate it, but there was nothing there. So we began our return journey.
I see. And out of character, so they're going like the opposite direction.
Yeah, they're
basically,
basically
right?
going west while you guys are going south.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, okay. The Sapphire Sea. Yeah, isn't it like really scary up there? As she like turns back to the gang to show that she's gonna try to like not talk about what happened.
We're so proud of her.
Have y'all seen any strange things flying overhead?
One second. Strange things flying overhead. Perhaps we have seen large birds, maybe like the rocks that we will occasionally see. Occasionally we see like planes and things coming from the across the mountains, or going from the Ravenians up north to the Vanyaskins, etc. But exceptionally
recent, though.
strange. I do not know.
All right, cool.
Yeah, we saw something, and then I said it wasn't the bird, but then she said she thought it was the bird. So it is good to have a conclusion on it.
No, we understand.
Mhm.
We'll
Anyways, we will return to our travels. Many safe winds to you, as
in,
God wills it.
And to you, here, take this as token of goodwill. You gave us the feathers, we give you this. And it's a just a little like stone disc that has a like a stylized carving of what appears to be like what's the word I'm looking for? Like an antelope on it. And it goes, I am Jan, and this is Anna Sejika. Yeah. Or Da, sorry.
Can I ask you to type those out later, Obs, so I can put them in the notes? Those are hard words to spell. Thank you.
We are from the Sejika tribe. We live in the lands south of the Divine Domain.
Okay. South of Divine Domain. Got it. Thank you.
Nafisa would know, based on her experience, that geopolitically, the Ravenans and the Vanyaskins have like their border areas, and then between them is like this great buffer zone of the Eastern Marches. And there's a lot of tribes and stuff who live in that area, and they're just not formally like annexed territory of the two states. However, it's kind of their own geopolitical thing that they tend to get tribes aligned to them over the millennia. So there are a lot of Vanyaskin like worshipping tribes south of the Divine Domain, while there are a bunch of, Ravenan aligned tribes also north of the Ravenans. And they kind of occupy the zone as kind of proxy issues, but currently, after the downfall of Erixia, things have been pretty peaceful as the sudden dissolution of Erixia really disrupted the geopolitical balance of the Western Eastern Marches.
I see.
So that's just a fun fact. That's why these guys are Vanyaskins, but they're clearly like not from the Divine Domain.
No, I really appreciate all this geopolitical like notes. I'm adding them to my notes, and Nafisa will use them in an unintentional, unintuitive way, but I'm gonna use them. All right.
Yep.
I promise you.
And with that, they will kind of nod and wave, and they'll continue on their ride to the west.
See, guys, not too much longer, and then we can find some nice Ravenans who will lend us a horse or two, so that we don't, have to keep walking. But we're gonna have to keep walking for a little bit.
I like the concept of you guys buying horses just to get to Thiricum and then ditching them.
That's how they do it back in the day. You sell them back to some stables or just let them go.
I'm all right at this current situation. This is fine.
It's fully banjo kazooing.
Well, it will be an option. And you see, I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything with the Sapphire Sea.
We are very proud of you.
Extremely proud.
But they really
that was your first lie.
I really wanted to say it though. We beat the worm, guys. It was big. We beat the worm.
That took restraint, and I'm real proud of you.
We'll tell Lunis's moms about it, and that is when I can talk about it.
Okay. Well, Lunis himself will be real excited to hear about it. All right, I'm sorry.
No, you're okay. You're okay, Soleil.
I thought you wanted someone to brag to.
Yeah. I get the feeling that if we brag to him, he'll just say he killed something else by himself. I get that's the feeling.
Yeah, you swap stories.
Yeah, but then like with I feel like it might be like a measuring contest, like back when we were having the antipasta. I don't know. Let's head over to Thiricum. Come on.
Okay. The rest of the day goes by uneventfully. You set up shop for the night, and at this point, Feng, I believe you wanted to try and chat up Omega.
Yes. I was curious about some things.
Yep. Omega generally just kind of vibes. They don't really do a whole lot when you guys are camping. They will talk to Nafisa because Nafisa has identified herself as the person who is briefing about the world. So they just presume, I guess Nafisa probably knows more about this than you guys. So yeah, they just kind of sit there and stare out into the wilds the rest of the night, so you can approach them.
Wary, is this a private moment?
Answer. It is not. We are gathered together in close proximity. We simply are observing.
I see. I fear I did not do my due diligence in proper introduction, so I wish to make amends for that. My name is Feng-chen, and I wish to exchange information with you, if that is amenable.
Do you know things that Nafisa does not know?
I cannot speak of her education, but I know that I have been trained by my father, who is a historian of the country of Avalon, and as well told stories of the goblinoid cultures of the Solari Empire. If these are things that you are already familiar with, the state, relatively recent state of through Nafisa, then I would suppose so, but I cannot say.
The elaboration could be helpful in our understanding. What is it you wish to know in return?
As the child of a historian, there is something deeply valuable about simply knowing the truth of what was. I wish to know, for anything you would ask of me, I would wish to know something of the past as well.
We have limited recollections of the time that we were operational, the time that we were whole. We conjecture that it is related to the pieces of us that are missing, and that is why we cannot recall as much as we should. We are amenable to saying what we do know if it assists your inquiries.
Certainly, and I am more than happy. There is a simple joy in being able to share what one knows as true, although I cannot speak for if it is a similar experience for yourself.
We find it useful to know more about this world. We feel that it will better prepare us for finding our purpose once more.
And there is no recollection of what this purpose could be.
We do not know. It is if it has been intentionally severed. We do not know why.
It is troubling not knowing what one's purpose is. Yes. I'm familiar.
They cock their head to the side and go, "But your purpose would be different. You are only mortal, after all. It is something you determine. We have our purpose as an intrinsic part of our nature."
In that, you are not dissimilar from a goblin. We have what our own selves, what our own minds and inner wishes say that we would like to do, what we would like to be best at, and what we are told we are best at, and what we are told is to be our purpose.
That seems useful, albeit strange. We are aware of goblinoids and their particularities, but we have always understood that you are simply mortal. You can always change with the times. Even members of your people have been known to change their purposes and reasons along the way.
This is true. It is very easy, though, for some people to become trapped in thinking that the only way that is best is the way that has always been. Or one forgets after a mere few generations that which was decided upon by one's generations many removed is not simply what has always been. We can change, certainly, but it is sometimes very difficult to.
We believe we have understood the perception of societal pressure upon the individual. Seems to be a philosophical failing to us that should be corrected.
That would be nice, yes.
If you are aware of the solution, then you should simply implement it. It is your freedom and your prerogative.
But not necessarily my power to, unfortunately. It's very easy to say something and know it to be true, and perhaps it even is, but it is sadly not so easy often to convince others when the comfort of what always has been insists that it's what is for the best and what should remain so.
You seem to be far from others, such as yourself, and you simply can disregard these controls. They have no power over you here, as they gesture to the open expanse of the plains. It is simply you and these people, who all seem to have their own flaws that can assist you in defying this.
You are certainly right, yes. People can be so unpredictable and messy, but there's something I have learned to find quite beautiful in that.
We do not believe we have ever been close to people. We have obviously interacted with people and we have been created, but we do not believe we have ever formed these relationships that so many of you seem to allude to as to having significance.
Is it something you wish to do?
We do not know if it matters. We do not know if it will help us. We do not believe it should be a liability as well.
And then there is neither any harm in it.
We will consider it in the coming days.
Of course. I am sure that all of you have much to consider and discuss with the ever-changing influx of new data and points of interest to consider. But that said, even if you may not remember much of your own time, I would still be more than pleased if there's anything I can tell you.
We will interrogate you as we find things to be appropriate. We, of course, will be open to any additional inputs. However, we understand the quid pro quo that you have outlined. What is it you wish to know?
Well, certainly the history as can only be understood by one who has lived it. But beyond that, I sometimes find my manner of thinking to be isolating, to be something that serves to separate myself from others. It can be perhaps at once too emotional and too logical. I would wonder if there are some things that I see in the way you are analyzing the world around yourselves that that I feel resonates with myself. And I would wonder if there is some way to better understand myself and perhaps for your collective to understand yourselves through such comparative study.
We believe we understand your anomalous nature and your desire to defy. We are unclear as to the particularities of your own personal structures. It seems that there are concepts that you exhibit that are up until now unexperienced by us. we can appreciate the idea of analytical processes. We feel it is natural for us to observe and dissect what we observe. We are uncertain as to the particularities, as to emotional exhibitions that you and your companions seem to exhibit, placing irrational significances in what we only see as flaws and inefficiencies. Perhaps that is a distinguishing factor between the nature of you as a mortal, even with what you describe as your isolating anomalies, and us as, well, as something else. We do not know if we could duplicate what comes to you so normally.
That seems quite alright to me. It is an experiment, after all. One cannot hope to know something is true until one has the opportunity to test.
To address your initial inquiry, we remember great shining cities going dark, piece by piece. We remember things being better and there being more than the less there is now. We think that there had been things here that are no longer here, but perhaps they had already been disappearing when we were still active and whole. We remember people speaking clearer, better, and more accurately. We remember their devices being more advanced than what you have, their magics more significant. But we do not remember why it was no longer that. We simply remember loss and then losing in turn.
If there is anything that we come across or discover in our time together, regardless of how long or brief that may be, I would hope that you would be amenable to letting me know. I would be more than happy to assist in this rediscovery of yours, however I may. I don't know how that may be, but things to learn.
We believe that we can learn greatly from exposure to you and your companions. We have concerns about the alienness of our own experiences in the face of this barbaric world we have found ourselves in. As we learn, we will share, and we expect to be shared with.
this I can say I am more than happy to do however I so may. Indeed, even if we end up needing to part ways before this, I would still hope to find some way to communicate such found data points with your collective.
Then it is agreed, and it is settled. At this point, like, they will happily ask more and more stuff, just like info from you. But we don't need Feng to lore dump on Omega if you don't want to.
Oh no, like I'm happy to do as much or as little info dumping as you want.
I think it's fine to convey that, you know, you
Yeah, it doesn't have to. I don't have to do that all like in scene.
yeah. So yeah, you could spend however long debriefing Omega before bed.
The artistic instinct to pack bond with inanimate beings.
And when the inanimate being has the advantage of being amenable to your info dumping. But yeah, so the rest of that can go by uneventfully if there's anything else you wanted to do with Omega.
I think honestly just the conversation is nice. It's nice for Feng to have a conversation where she feels she very much understands a kind of transactional back and forth exchange.
I'm sure Feng loves the idea of somebody who is entirely direct with her.
Oh god, yeah.
But yeah, so the rest of the night will go by uneventfully. You guys pick it up the next morning. It's going to be about 2 more days for you to get to the Ravenan border. There's anything you want to do in that time before you get there, let me know. Otherwise, we can just jump to you guys arriving in that area.
I think before we get there, Aurora probably will want to tell them about Nethris.
Okay. So
Just before we get into a packed city where it's unsure how private of a quarters we're going to get.
Okay.
But she'll kind of just one of the nights while people are starting to like get ready for bed's gonna probably roll over to Soleil. Just be like, hey, just a bit of forewarning. I think I'm gonna tell everyone about my my shadow.
Yeah, Shadow friend. He's like half asleep. Yep, Shadow friend.
Hey, this is important. Get up.
Yeah, no, like forewarning.
I just wanted to confide in you before coming forward to everyone else. That's all.
Okay, and he just drapes an arm around her.
This will shut her up.
Thank you.
I gotta ask, have they been sleeping together every night, by the way?
Yeah, well, not like
Yeah.
not like that, but like yeah.
Because Soleil doesn't mind how stinky she is.
I just Nafisa's noting that in the book. Don't worry about it.
I have the stinky card this campaign.
Now it's your turn to be stinky.
I just choked on choked my water at that stinky card comment.
Do we have any stinky fans in chat?
Stinky, you killed the DM.
But
Stinky meets Musky is the real Soleil Aurora ship.
Oh
I love me some
Stinky
good
Musky.
shifter. I love me some good shifter musk.
All right. So
if either of you, if you have any sort of backup for any questions that they have, since you're probably more knowledgeable about this than I am, then that's all I'm asking. Okay.
Okay, all right, yep.
She's just like making a little pouty face at you.
I'll help you out. I got you.
Okay. Hey, and she'll sit up and kind of scoot towards the center. Everybody still awake here?
Oh yeah.
We do not sleep.
Yeah. I assume Nafisa and Feng were like realized that we can both we can both talk to Omega and share information, so that's what they've been doing.
Yap sessions.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Talking to your chat GPT.
Okay. So I got something to confide in you all, and this is kind of a a big deal for me. So yeah. What I'm about to tell you, you all got to promise to not say a word of it to anyone else. Okay?
Looks at Nafisa.
I promise, I will not talk about it. I will just zip my mouth. I won't even put it in my notebook as much as I want to. It's gonna go in my notebook.
Very well. I can agree.
Okay. So the only reason I'm really telling y'all, I just want to be clear about this, is because I don't want y'all to freak out or anything if y'all notice something different or some sort of new presence. It's nothing to be worried about. But I have a little guardian angel that follows me around and protects me.
I mean, I wouldn't exactly call her an angel, but
Soleil, maybe she's not a guardian angel, but she is a protector. I think we can agree on that. Looks back at Soleil.
he shrugs.
and and she won't beckon Nethris to show, but she'll just say, "Can you, hey, can you move around to show them that you're sort of independent?"
Um, see that Aurora's shadow begins to move around, and you see it kind of crawl up the back of her. And as you look at it, you see that there is a vaguely humanoid form of shadow standing behind Aurora. About, it's probably about as tall as Omega, so shorter than Soleil, taller than Nafisa, with the only distinguishing things being these two glowing purple eyes as it kind of just looms behind Aurora with part of its shadowy essence extending on her shoulder. Aurora, you feel a reassuring hand on your shoulder.
Oh, do you want to do like introductions proper, or do we get to meet her or them or the?
Hey, I don't think she's really ready for that. I just, she's very much protected me throughout, gosh, last 5 years or so. And I just, if you see my shadow moving about and on the battlefield or whenever, I just want you to know that it's nothing to fear and that it's okay.
Very well.
I mean, shadows move normally when we move, but like, yeah. They're your friend, right? They're like Nix. See, Nix was taking care of me since I was like a baby, so since I was like really small. So like, Is she? They're like Nyx.
Probably not in your best interest to be comparing this being to a dog.
Oh. I was thinking maybe a friend for Nyx, but that's okay. We can be patient. When do they have a name, or should we just call them your shadow? Or
She kind of looks back to Nethris, just like, I suppose it couldn't hurt.
Nethris kind of just nods to you, say that it's fine to say it. They do not want to talk. She doesn't want to talk.
Fair enough. She doesn't really want to talk, but name's Nethris.
Nethris, okay, Nethris. It's in my.
She's she's my appointed guardian from the Raven Queen.
Oh.
Oh, like a queen? Oh, wait, you know a queen?
I mean, I suppose, yeah. She's a Fey Queen, yeah.
Oh, like one of those queens. Oh, okay. That's still really fancy. Yeah, it's okay. I'll be patient, and then Nethris will want to introduce herself to me, and then we can be friends. But
the
it
way
is
you
nice to
said,
know.
"Oh, one of those queens," makes me think that you don't really see her like a queen.
Oh no, I mean like I know she's like a queen in like the authority sense, but I heard stories about like Fae in general. You know? I was
Soleil
thinking,
slowly turning his head.
they were just like children's stories. Children's stories. I don't want to. I don't want to say it's bad. It's just like I had this initial like imagination of like us going to see a queen in a fancy castle, but I don't think we can go see the Raven Queen like that. So that's all. That's all. That's why I was a little sad. That's all.
I don't think we can just go to the void like that. I don't think you want to go to the void like that.
Yeah, it's not a great place.
Goes on the adventuring bucket list. Yeah, sorry, Feng. You were trying to say something.
Is this meant to change something from our current arrangements?
Oh, no, nothing of the sort. I just wanted to let you know, so I wouldn't be keeping a secret that could startle you or something. Since I mean, a shadow moving around can be kind of spooky. So it's really, really simple as that. I
The
don't got some
honesty is
crazy thing.
appreciated.
Crazy thing like what, Aurora?
What? What? Sorry? Say it again?
Like what? Crazy thing like what?
Um, I don't. I don't right know what to say to that.
He just kind of leans back down into his little bedroll.
At this point, Omega will walk forward and say, "May we examine it?"
Once again, we'll basically look back to Nethris for consent.
See Nethris's eyes narrow.
Oh. I mean,
I think we may want to hold off on something like that.
And Omega will take one more step forward, and you feel Nethris actually recoil back a bit. And then Omega just kind of cocks their head to the side and goes, "So be it. We will remain patient and ready," as they step back away.
But yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Of course, Aurora. Any friend of yours is a friend of ours. And please let Nethers know that I will be waiting patiently to make acquaintances.
You're probably gonna be waiting for a while.
That's okay. I am good at that. As you could see her twiddling your thumbs in a very much I am not good at that way.
Oh no.
Poor girl.
If I may, as Aurora probably goes to lay back down, she's gonna look over to Soleil and just be like, Did I offend you in any way? I'm sorry if I did. I don't know what I said.
No, it's fine. I understand that. People don't look kindly on a lot of Fey abilities.
I mean, yours is pretty magnificent. The way that you just can just become this big old hulking monster and just, I mean, you protected me really well. And I really appreciated that.
Aurora, it's fine.
Okay. She'll
I'm
just
glad it
turn
went
over.
well.
What'd you say?
I'm glad it went well.
Yeah. I am too. Do you, if you ever want, I mean, I know there's not much I know, but I do appreciate you. Like a lot.
Yeah, well, someone's got to carry you across this desert.
Fair enough. I just don't wanna. I wanna make sure. Oh, I'm stumbling over everything. I'm sorry. I'll just stop talking.
Okay. If Soleil has nothing else to say to that, Aurora does get the kind of comforting feeling. It's been a few days of you sleeping. I'll say alongside Soleil, since you're not always sleeping with Soleil. But Nethris does form to kind of just cuddle up with Aurora. And Soleil is musky and hot, and Nethris is very cool, and so it's
The fake cuddle puddle.
a Fey cuddle puddle. And yeah, the rest of the night goes by uneventfully. You at this point, yeah, you guys will eventually arrive at. You begin to see outposts of Nafisa can identify Ravennan architecture at this point because she's been to Thiricum, and this wasn't the exact path through the past the Painted Desert that she took to get to Thiricum, but it's getting close enough to the eastern side of the Ravennan Imperium that she could identify features and stuff. So you begin to see outposts. Where there's some soldiers, small towns outside of them. If you really wanted, you could, I guess, rent some horses for, I don't know, I'd say 25 credits each to rent them to take them to Thiricum if you want.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to, but you can.
Or like copper pieces?
No, credits, like actual gold
Okay,
pieces.
okay, but what was it?
We don't deal with copper and silver in this
Right,
game.
right. Sorry, holy shit, I flashbanged myself there.
If something's less than a gold piece, it's free.
Really? Ooh, okay. Good to know.
Yeah, we've talked about it. Like we hand wave like food and stuff,
Yeah,
right?
it's like functional, just like food and inns and shit. I don't care. Like that's not something I'm gonna ever charge you for. But so yeah, if you guys want to rent horses, you can.
Yeah, sure. I have no ability to ride them, but
Don't
I'm
get in combat with
interested
them
in
then.
seeing a horse.
Yeah. Soleil, Aurora, would you like to go on horseback to make this like last the stretch a bit easier? I can maybe see about selling them, or we could give them to another tribe to pass the favors along if there's any in town.
I don't know how well a beast of burden might do with me.
Oh, they're really strong, Soleil. They could carry me and Tix, and it's a little more than you, right?
It's worth a shot, I suppose.
Have you seen a horse before? Do they have those where you're from?
I've seen a horse before.
Yeah, so you know this.
The dichotomy of Meris characters
Yeah.
does or does not
There's
know
a-
what a horse
There's a
is.
50% chance Maris knows what a horse is or not.
I mean, really, that could be everything in existence. It either knows what a horse is or does not.
But we have
Yes,
Jericho
but
and Curse of
in-
Strahd who did
yeah,
not know
yeah.
about living horses. And then we've got Soleil who does know about living horses.
Gonna be honest, I have no idea how to ride one of these, so
Well, it's okay. I could show you, and then we just need to walk along the road, and if we buy some horses, they should already know that for the most part.
Yeah, like these, the horses are pretty good. I will have you make animal handling checks purely for the sense of seeing your vibe check of riding a horse. And
All right.
you can each write off 25 credits from your money supplies.
Oh wow, that's
25.
a cheap horse.
Well, you're only
That's
renting it. You're not
25 for
buying it.
Yeah, we're renting it.
You're just
Oh, yeah, that's
renting it
right.
for basically 2 days to get you to Thiricum.
It's for RP. It's worth it, guys.
Oh, agreed.
I am
Alrighty.
pleasantly surprised by that 16 animal handling.
Apparently
Do I
my
have any
roll
to-
had crashed. All right.
meanwhile, I'm going for another natural 0 myself.
Here we go, baby.
Let's go.
Oh,
Whoa!
Yay!
Aurora knows horses like the back of her hand. Oh, B.
Oh no!
Temple
just,
Raiden, I am not.
Last is Nafisa.
I don't think we're dealing with combat, so I'm just gonna pop this real quick.
Hey,
so we
hey,
can
horse. Hey, bro. Make a
Yeah, so-
persuasion roll then.
Oh wait, no, let me do animal. I'm better at that. I just wanted to like a horse RP.
You also can have horse RP. All right. So, you get your horses. They're, out here. You notice that there's very few of what Nafisa would recognize as like probably Revenan citizens. These are mostly like Auxilia Client Kingdom people on the borderlands. So these are generally non-psionic people. There might be like maybe a handful of psionics who are actually a part of the like garrison leadership or whatever, but this is mostly just normal ass people. But you get your horses and everybody's like, you see Lily is just clicking with her horse, or Aurora's clicking with her horse like no one's business. This horse is very chill. Meanwhile, B's horse is really giving her the stink eye and like being real feisty to try and let Feng-chen ride it.
This will have to happen either way. Do you want this to be simpler or more difficult?
Intimidating the horse.
No, I'm not intimidating. I'm just talking. Look, horse. I just want to talk. I just want to talk.
Nafisa's actually talking, so do you want to have any kind of RP with these horses while you're here?
Hi, we are looking to go to here. We are just going to walk on this road. A nice, quiet, simple trip. If anything happens, we will protect you. Thank you for giving us a lift.
Your horse
He's
goes.
just being really nice.
Yeah, your horse goes. Okay, yeah, it seems pretty usual. A lot of people, come through here usually want to go near the big blue thing. Not very tasty water, I'll say that much. But
Wait, by the blue thing, does he mean the Sapphire
the
Sea?
ocean. It's a horse.
All right, hold on. I had to make sure.
Big blue wet thing.
Yeah, it's the big blue wet thing from Muppet Treasure Island. It's the water is not good. So yeah, your horse is like, but yeah, we can get you there. It's pretty good food once we get there.
Oh yes, we will get to really nice. What do you like? Carrots, sugar cubes?
Well, don't let anybody tell you otherwise. But quite a fan.
Oh yes. We will treat you to a very nice mixture of sugar cubes and apples.
Nafisa does know that you're not supposed to give that a lot to horses because it's too. It's like when you give something that's carrots to rabbits and stuff. It's really sweet and stuff for them. You're not supposed to do it.
Yeah.
But
yeah, she would know.
They can
but
take some.
she also she respects the freedom of decision. If they want a bucket of sugar, they can have it.
You hear the horse that Bugs trying to get on is like, man, can't believe I have to deal with this bullshit.
I am not translating that.
I'm gonna make her work for it.
Oh God.
This is a real ill-tempered horse apparently towards Feng-chen. And Aurora's horse kind of pipes up and goes, "Oh, don't give any attention to him. He's really mad after the gelding, and he just won't let anybody have a good time because of it."
Your horse is upset. You should pet him and make sure he is, happy. That's all I got.
I will attempt this.
Awkwardly petting him the whole ride.
Yep. I'm just gonna set that to my hands rote action as we're going.
You hear the other horses neigh, and then Nafisa hears them go, "Flavius, just chill out. You're gonna make this take so much longer. These people are heavy. Come on, man. Don't make this harder for the rest of us." Flavius is like, all right. God. Guys are such dicks. And you hear one of the other horses say, "Well, that's something you don't have to worry about anymore." And he gets real quiet.
Poor guy.
No, he had it coming.
I mean, he's not gonna worry about
I'm
that
with
anymore.
this other horse
doesn't
now.
worry about that either.
Fuck this guy.
Such horse animosity in this stream. But yeah, he eventually lets you on and stuff, and he kind of just sulks after that the rest of the day. You'll be able to get into Thiricum the next day. So I think this is probably a good place to wrap up for tonight as you are approaching Thiricum. And we can jump in there next session. I hope everyone had fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Finally, the RP I've been craving.
Horse RP? Castrated horse RP?
No, man, Nexus in general. No, I'm not into
the squirrel.
castration.
Now the horse.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe you're into horse castration.
Hey, listen, just be happy Nafisa didn't ask these horses to join the fucking party. She would have, just like that squirrel.
That's Nafisa's crime arc, is her stealing these rented horses.
She would have if they wanted.
You could have. No one's stopping you.
The horses are just free. You can take them.
I have 33 horses in my house. The government can't stop you. Oh wait, they totally can. But yeah, so we'll wrap up things for the night. I hope you guys had fun. If you haven't done so already, please go check out all these wonderful players. They all have their own games and streams and stuff in their own right that you should go check out as well. If you haven't done so already, please give me a follow here on Twitch. Give me a sub over on YouTube. A follow on Twitter. Or not Twitter, Blue Sky. And you can join my Discord, the Eternal Citadel, and be a part of my incredible community. I want you all to know you're all beautiful, amazing, and valid people. And I hope you enjoyed spending your night with us nearly as much as we enjoyed spending it with you. And never forget, the world is better having you in it. Now, next time I'll be sure to have that Ludus art uploaded so you can go check it out. If you are just chomping at the bit for more sweet, sweet Nexus art, join my Discord. I post all the things I commission there. You can see it and you can talk about the game and who's your favorite gay character. Because you're not going to find any favorite straight characters, that's for darn certain.
Have we had any straight characters that were made by
Not in this
Obsidian?
campaign.
Nope.
Not in this
Kai Shen
campaign.
is straight.
Kai-Shen is straight.
Yep.
Watch Ashes.
Yep, watch Ashes Last War. Ashes the Last War had like 5 straight characters.
A lot can go on though once you've, entered into the ancestry.
Yeah.
What are you doing, Step Goblin?
But yes, go check it out. So, that's also a call out. If you follow my YouTube, you can go see Ashes the Last War, an entire D&D campaign from start to finish in the Eberron campaign setting that I wrote. I didn't write Eberron, but I wrote the campaign. And it's a lot of fun. Many of these people are in it as well. And yeah.
Don't let her talk herself down. She wrote it.
I wrote Eberron. Whoever claims otherwise is a lie. I made Eberron better by making it more cyberpunky with more monster girls.
And queer.
Yeah.
If you are a follower, please copy down the call to hugs. If you're a sub, please copy down the knight's message. And we're gonna go raid Raccoon Slut, who is a good bean.
I'm sorry, that name just took me out.
Hello, flash thing.
Yeah, her name is Raccoon Slut.
Be the VTuber you want to see in the world.
So true, Rusty.
Well, maybe it's just it's funny because technically it's Raccoon Sweet in its thing, but I'm beginning to think maybe it's intended to be slut because that's how I've read it for all the time that I've known her. There we go. Spelled it correctly, finally. She's playing Fast Food Simulator. So immersive, low-wage work gameplay.
Capitalism RP to capitalism game, yeah.
Capitalism RP.
Yeah.
You get to see suffering live in 5K. But she's a good being, a real sweetheart. So let's go send her lots of love. I hope you guys all have a wonderful night, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.